Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are doing chapter 8 of D1, percentage. Up till now we have discussed how to find the percentage of a given fraction, or if the percentage is given, how to find fraction or a decimal value. We have discussed some word problems, and we have seen how to calculate percentage for a given scenario or the percentage value for the given scenario. Okay, now let's discuss about percentage change. So today we are going to discuss the percentage change. That if a certain value is increasing by a certain percentage or decreasing by a certain percentage, how to calculate that. We'll be discussing two methods for increasing or decreasing a certain value. So let's take a first example and let's see how to increase it or decrease it. Suppose we have increase number 70 by 20%. So we have to increase number 70 by 20%. So we have two methods to deal with this situation. To increase a value by 20%, we can do it by two methods. So the first method number 1, method 1, since we have to increase 70 by 20%, the first thing will be we have to calculate 20% of the number 70. How do we do that? We know that we have to multiply 20 with 70, 20% with 70. So 70 into 20%, that is 70 into 20 over 100. So zeros goes with zeros, and we have 14. So 20% of 70 is 14. But we have to give the increased value of 70 by 20%. So what do we have to do? It's not complete yet. What do we have to do next? We have to add this 14 to 70. So the 20% increased value of 70 equals 70 plus 14 is equal to 84. So 84 is the increased value of 70. When the 70 is increased by 20%, it becomes 84. Okay, and it's quite simple. I hope that you have understood it. Now let's do the second method. Method number 2. Now we know that we have to increase 70 by 20%. Okay, this 70 is whole, this is 100%, but we have to increase it by 20%, that is 20 more than 100. So another way of doing it, that instead of multiplying 70 with 20%, what we are going to do? We are going to multiply with increased percentage, that is going to be 100 plus 20, that is 120. So what we are going to do, 70 into 120%, because 100 is this number itself and 20 is the increased value, so 120. 100 plus 20 gives us increased value. Okay, but to remove this percentage sign, divide by 100, 0 goes with 0, and we have 84. So increased value of 70 by 20% is 84. So this is a direct method, and this is very useful method because we have applied the increased percentage and we got our value. We don't have to go for a two-step thing, but it's up to you. If you want to go apply method number 1, it's perfectly okay. If you want to apply this, It's your choice. Okay. Now let's decrease the number by 20% and see how we are going to do it. We'll do with the same two methods. Okay. To decrease 70 by 20%. Okay. Now we have to reduce number 70 by 20%. So the method number 1. It's very similar to the previous thing when we were increasing. What we did, we tried to find out the 20% of 70, and for that we multiplied 70 with 20% and we got 14. We are doing the same thing here. So 70 into 20% and we get 14. Okay. So but we have to decrease 70 by 20%. So what are we going to do now? The decreased value (70 minus 14), and which is 56. Okay. So it's very similar to how we increased. Only difference is, in increase we were adding 14 to the original number. In decreasing we are subtracting the value to be decreased from the original number. Okay. Now let's do method number 2. To decrease the value of 70 by 20%. When we wanted to increase 70 by 20%, we said this 70 is whole and it is 100%. So we have to increase by 20%. So 100 plus 20 was 120%. Now we have to decrease. This is whole, this is 100%, and we have to decrease it by 20%. So it will be 100 minus 20. So 100 minus 20 is 80. So into 80%. So 70 into 80 over 100, we have 56. Direct method. Okay. Hope you got the idea how to increase any value by a certain percentage or decrease a number by a certain percentage. Okay, now let's do some problem. Since we know how to increase or decrease a number, so let's take a small problem. Suppose if 30% of a number is 15. Find the number. Okay, if a 30% of a number is 15, find the number. Now, in this case, the original number is not known, but the scenario says we know that the 30% of that unknown number is 15. So, when we don't know the number, what we do? We take a variable for a number. So, let x be the number. Okay. Now, this variable x is our original number. Suppose that. And we know that 30% of this number is 15. So what are we going to do? X into 30% is equal to 15. Okay? So x into 30 over 100 is equal to 15, and x is equal to 15 into 100 over 30. So we can solve it. It is 50. Okay? The original number is 50. Now we can check it. The question said that the 30% of the original number is 15. So 50 and 30% of 50 is 15. Okay? So that means our supposition that x is our number and the solving method is correct, and we have found the original number whose 15%, whose 30% is 15. Okay. Now I'm going to do a couple of parts from a question number 2 of exercise 8b. Exercise is 8b and question number 2 and part is C. The result of a number when increased by 15% is 161. Find the number. The result of a number when increased by 15% is 161. Find the number. Okay, the result of a number when increased by 15% is 161. Find the number. Now again in this case it is said that the number is increased by 15% and the increased number after increase of 15% is 161. So we have to find the original number, and the original number is not known. So when we don't know anything, we take a variable. So let's say x be the variable, x be the original number. Let x be the number so if x is the number, what happened to it? It is increased by 15%, and I'm going to use the direct method. If something is increased by 15%, what it means? It means that the 100 is, this number is 100% and it is increased by 15%. That means that 115. So it was increased by 115% and the result we got is 161. So x into 115%. So I'm going to divide by 100 is equal to 161. Okay? So x is equal to 161 into 100 over 115, and after simplifying it we will get 140. Okay, so the number 140, if increased by 15%, we will get 161, and we can check it. We can multiply this number. This is our original number. So instead of x, we can multiply it with this 140 into 115 over 100, and the result will be, if you check what is the result, it will be 161. Okay? So the direct method is very useful in solving this sort of the problems. Okay, now let's do another part of this question. Okay, now let's do the part B of question number 2. The result of a number when decreased by 20% is 192. Find the number. Now, as we have done the increased part, the decreased part is similar. We don't know the number, original number, but it is decreased by 20% and the result is 192. We don't know the number, we'll take a variable for that number, and since it is decreased by 20%, the number itself was 100, decreased by 20, so that means that we have to multiply it by 80%. So let x be the number, and it is, we are reducing it, so x into 80% is equal to 192, and x is equal to 192 into 100 over 80, and it is 240. Okay, so we got the original number. Original number was 240. When it is decreased by 20%, we got 192. Okay, and you can recheck it. You can multiply 240 with 80 divided by 100, and you will get 192. So you know how to check the result now. I have done it for the increased value with you. Okay. Now, I hope that it is clear that how the number is increased, how the number is decreased, and if the number is not known, how we can use a variable to find the original number. Now, let's do practice now 8 and see how to solve it. Okay, now we are going to solve practice now 8, page 196, and it says 70% of the books on a bookshelf are English books. Okay, this is one thing. There's a bookshelf, and the 70% of the books on the bookshelf are in English language. If there are 35 English books on the bookshelf, now this is second thing. First thing is that the 70% of the books are in English language. The second thing is there are 35 books in English. So it means that 70% of that sum number is going to be 35. Find the number of books on the bookshelf. Okay, now we don't know the number of books on the bookshelf, and the 70% of that number is 35, because 35 is the number of the English books and the 70% of the books are in English. So let x be the number of books on shelf. Okay, so now x is the number of the books on the shelf, and 70% of this number is 35. So x is equal to 35 into 100 over 70. Ones are, twos are, and ones are 50. So it is 50. So there are 50 books on the bookshelf, and the 70% of this original number is 35. Okay? So hope you have understood how to find the original number if the percentage is given, and we have to use a variable to find the original number. And I have also applied the same method to find the increased number or the decreased number, and we have applied the two methods, and the direct method, if to me the direct method is quite convenient. So thank you very much for now.